What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is August 22nd, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 30 with 24 different titles. I have read through the stack. Great stack this week. Congratulations to Barry Lamb. Barry was the winner of my free digital download for Ready Player One. Barry, I sent you a comment in the last video. If you could, please email me back. This week's free giveaway is going to be Avengers Infinity War. So all you have to be is 18 years old or older with parents' consent for a entry. To enter, all you have to do is give me a thumbs up on this video, and please comment in a separate comment down below, I want Avengers. Starting off on the DC side of things, Justice League Dark. So this issue number 2 was actually the first full appearance of the Upside Down Man. I will reveal him at the very end of this one issue here. So going through, I've said before in the past, I'm not really too much of a fan of magic. The storyline's got to be really, really good. This one has a pretty good blend of, some character development. I'm not really familiar with all the characters here. I've never really read through some of these characters due to the magic element. But man, Wonder Woman's been pretty good in this one issue so far. Pretty good comic relief from time to time. Good action. A couple twists here at the end. A little bit of a surprise from Doctor Strange, or possibly Naboo. So just to skip down to the end of things to show you the reveal. So this is the Upside Down Man full reveal, or the first full appearance. He talked. I think he may have talked, in one panel, the very last issue, but that was just a cameo. So I did pick up 3 additional issues of this one just to have that first appearance in there. So yeah, 1 reader copy and 3 for the speculation box. All right, moving on, Teen Titans. So this is the brand new team. This is like just the second issue of the full team kind of interacting together. Pretty good issue in my opinion. There was pretty good team dynamics here. It really felt like they were together for a while, to tell you the truth. Maybe a little bit too advanced, the way that they were kind of fighting together. There was a couple dialogue, a little bit of strategy here and there, but I thought they took care of these people just a little bit too well. So one of my favorite characters is actually this girl here. Her name is Jin, and apparently she's like a genie, and in this folklore that they kind of started creating for her here, she's not necessarily tied to a bottle. She explains like there's other like artifacts and things that the master could have. Apparently she has powers, by herself that she could use. However, if the ring that she's tied to is used by someone else, in this case Damien, she has like additional powers. He could kind of command her to do, I guess, almost anything. So pretty cool. It's almost like an unlimited power type of character. So we'll see how she develops, but pretty interesting character so far in this issue number 21. The Terriffics. So this was one I really enjoyed when it first came out. I enjoyed the humor, the banter between Metamorpho and Plastic Man. It's gotten a little bit stale, to tell you the truth. Issue number 6 and 7, this issue number 7 here, really just a little bit stale. They reintroduced Tom Strong. He was, I think, from the Silver Age, I think, if that's correct. Not really sure, guys. If you could comment down below. Reintroduced him. Metamorpho has lost his powers from that last issue, going against that god. And I don't know, just the dialogue just kind of mediocre in my opinion. So I actually may be dropping this one, one that I loved at the very beginning. So yeah, Terrifics number 7. Batman Kings of Fear. So this is actually cover B. I only picked up 1 issue on this one, or 1 copy on this one. The Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Excellent, man. I love the black and white, man. Very, striking, strong graphic. So the storyline, however, the artwork was more of like a, more of a vintage feel to it overall, in my opinion. The storyline overall, just okay. Kind of felt like a, like a Silver Age, like single issue type of fight. At the very end, I guess it kind of explains just a little bit more with Scarecrow kind of getting involved and Batman getting sprayed. So I think that's where the King of Fear kind of comes into play here. Maybe he's going to be under the influence of Scarecrow all the way through the title. So yeah, this first issue, just barely intriguing. I may just thumb through that issue number 2. Damage Annual number 1. So This is a character I think there will be killing off. You know, the ongoing series just kind of got really dull and stale. I think I'm going to pick up just one more to try to figure out where they're going to stop it. But this one annual one, like most annuals, are kind of just like a little throwaway. This had some decent action, you know, kind of like a, you know, retro Hulk type of old fight from like, you know, the late 70s type of storyline feel to it, in my opinion. He had some other monsters, you know, similar to Damage, and it's just kind of like a big brawl. So it was like a fun fight, you know, overall, but very, very weak character, man. They, you know, this guy could have been something. They built him up, and it just kind of fizzled out. The Flash. So one of my most favorite series, you know, it's usually pretty strong all the way through. So they did introduce a couple of the other forces. You had the Still Force, the Strength Force, which they kind of cover here in this one issue. And then you had the, what was like the Wisdom Sage, the Sage Force. So this one kind of starts introducing, you know, this is how the Strong Force kind of works. Trickster kind of gets caught up in the Strong Force, and this is really a big battle against them. And the very end, just going to show you a quick reveal where the Flash starts tapping into the Speed Force. I'm sorry, tapping into the Strength Force. Pretty cool, and we'll see in the next issue how he kind of starts to deal with it and some other items. So, you know, this could go places, but I don't know, man. Just we'll see where they take all these various forces out there. You know, I was pretty into it at first, but kind of reading through this one, you know, a little bit too gimmicky in my opinion. So we'll see where they go with it. Moving on to the Marvel side of things, so Venom. Donny Cates completely on fire. I did pick up just one more issue just for speculation purposes. So this one, as you could see, Venom actually sprouts wings. He gets brand new powers he's never really had before in the past. Anytime they start doing any retconning or any origin story, man, that, you know, that issue usually gets pretty hot. So that's why I picked up one more. So Miles Morales, you know, kind of teamed up, or not really teamed up, but kind of encountered Eddie Brock. They kind of, you know, got into in the last issue in a free fall, and this is where Eddie's symbiote starts kind of talking to him. He's like, hey, I got new powers, you know, check this out. Bam, this awesome 2-page splash, dude. Really, really striking in my opinion. So yeah, very cool how they kind of start retconning a lot of the symbiote, like, you know, mythos overall. Very, very cool. They also have a little bit of a twist at the very end. That one military guy who kind of got Eddie Brock in the very first issue, kind of reveal who that guy is. Pretty cool. I did not see that one coming. So yeah, Donny Cates, excellent story writer, man. Really enjoyed this. I've never been a Venom fan ever in my life. This title is great so far. Darth Vader, yet another title that, man, I just really look forward to every month. This one did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. If you're a Darth Vader fan, you know, I've said it before, if you're a Star Wars fan, I would say go get this. If you're a Darth Vader fan, I highly, highly suggest for you to go pick this, the entire Volume 1, Volume 2 up, man. Go read through the whole thing. Loved it. He's chasing down a couple of the Inquisitors who are on his staff, his team, back in Coruscant. So it's kind of reminiscent of that episode number 2, Chased in Coruscant with Obi-Wan and Anakin. So here's Anakin again, you know, doing the same type of chase, but as Darth Vader. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. Darth Vader, you know, pretty much always gets his kill. So yeah, very cool stuff, good action. They kind of start building up some things that you kind of see in that you've actually seen in other series. They kind of here's the origin of it. So yeah, love this title, Darth Vader. Mr. and Mrs. X. So yet another title to where, you know, I was really only going to pick up that number 1, was not going to be really too interested in Beyond. They added Deadpool. I decided to go ahead and start reading through it just one more time. I started kind of quasi becoming a fan of Deadpool here, you know, as of late, which I never have been in the past. I think the movies is what really did it for me. So pretty good action. You know, the artwork, I like the kind of like that softer portrait type feel that they have in this one issue. Really enjoy it. The dialogue between Deadpool and Rogue, pretty hilarious, man. Pretty good humor throughout this entire thing, which I think is what kind of got me interested in it. So yeah, I think I will actually be picking up a number 3 to my ultimate surprise. So yeah, Mr. and Mrs. X, pretty good action, pretty good humor. X-Men Red. So this one, although Storm's on the cover, not really a Storm type of issue. Overall team, a lot of good action in here. Great action, great dialogue. So you had, what was her name? Trinary, who actually controls this, I was going to say Sentinel, the Sentinel, flying right over this airplane in which they are under the cargo hold trying to stow away. Falls out of the sky. Then you also have Namor in Atlantis, and things happening there. So big epic like feel to it. Things happening just all over the place and just kind of all tied together. Really enjoyed the storyline. Love all the X titles that are out there right now, to tell you the truth. One more, X-Men Gold. So this one, Storm's on the cover, and this one is truly about Storm. Really like a one-off little story arc about Storm. Pretty decent. The last one a little bit slow. This one kind of picked up. Really enjoyed this one so far. So this Storm is also, she's utilizing the hammer of Stormbringer. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool concept. I like how they kind of brought that hammer back and just kind of trying to fuse it with her lightning and thunder abilities, as that she already had. But yeah, pretty cool blast to the past for her and her parents. Kind of found out, they kind of retconned what her village was and how her parents died and some other items in there. So yeah, if you enjoy Storm, good story arc for you. Number 1 from Marvel, West Coast Avengers. So Kate Bishop, so I was not a fan of her originally. I forgot what her first appearance was. It was really when she came out in that one Generations issue where she goes back and Hawkeye's like originally like a criminal, and she meets him at that point in time. That one issue really got me into Kate Bishop, to tell you the truth. I picked up that number 1, but I wasn't really into it. I really enjoyed this one so far. I was surprised that I did. This is yet another issue to where I'll just pick up a number 1, kind of read through it, see what I think, and I read everything open-minded. The humor in this one, the sarcasm, the quick wit, dialogue throughout this whole thing, I really, really enjoyed. It really surprised me. I think I may pick up a number 2. I'll see when it comes out on the rack how I feel about that. But this one really did surprise me. I really did enjoy this one. So yeah, West Coast Avengers number 1. Old Man Hawkeye. Yet another title I really look forward to. This has been a pretty good ride so far. So Kate Bishop is in here as well, a little bit older. The dialogue, just one more time, the dialogue between Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, love it. Doesn't matter what age that they're in. Love the banter between the two. Always good. I think it's really the sarcasm, between the two. The quick wit sarcasm. Love it. So yeah, Old Man Hawkeye. If you like that Old Man Logan, this has the same feel to it, same artwork, great storyline. Avengers. Man, this is a great reboot so far. This is issue number 6. Great, big, epic feel to it. It's very, very similar to the reboot for Justice League. Both are great stories, completely different, but both publishers did a really good job, rebooting like their number 1 team, in my opinion. So tons of action all the way through, finding the Celestials. The storyline, started like billions of years ago, culminated to today. They kind of retconned what happened with, the original Sentinel who came down. It was infected. Its infected blood got into Earth, and that's what actually created all the superheroes on Earth. Pretty cool how they kind of wrote that back into it, or wrote that retcon, like the entire Marvel universe pretty much here in this by Jason Aaron. So yeah, really enjoy this, the Avengers. Moving on to Image. I was able to pick up, this is actually issue number 1 that came out last month, but the gold foil. So I saw this one going for about like $35 on eBay right now. So yeah, very happy to pick this one up. The gold foil, Die, issue number 1. So issue number 2 did come out. So I picked up the textless number 1, that first go around. So I'm going to try to pick up the textless all the way through if I can. Picked up 2 more. I was going to pick up 1 just for speculation. I picked up 1 for a buddy, and I did not realize that he already picked up a textless one already. So I have just 2 for the spec box at this point. Love the gore of this. This really had like a Garth Ennis type of like adult superhero gore feel to it, in my opinion. Loved it, man. So if you are into The Boys, I feel this is very, very reminiscent of that one title, The Boys by Garth Ennis. So yeah, Die, Die, Die. If you're into the blood gore side of things, check this out. Shanghai Red. So I absolutely love stories of revenge. This is a great revenge story, very, very gritty. I feel the artwork goes along with the storyline, superbly. So she's finally back home. She has hooked up with her sister, who her sister feels that, she thought that her sister just kind of went off on some lifetime adventure and just kind of left her and her mom to die in the hospital. Come to find out, she found out that she was actually, her sister was shanghaied, and that's why she's been gone, but, no love, I guess, for some reason. So yeah, pretty cool storyline. They hooked up with the owner of the bar where the heroine of the storyline was actually originally shanghaied. So they're kind of building it up, this huge plot against, she's already killed 2 people who shanghaied her so far, but I think they're going to go, deeper, into like the cop side of things, the people who are taking the bribes to keep the Shanghai people going, the slavery going. Love the storyline so far. Shanghai Red. Curse words. Another magic type of title. I love this one. This one issue is kind of like a little standalone, almost like an annual, like a one-off beach adventure, back in the past, because here's our main hero, right now he has gray hair. It's, far in the future when he's here on Earth. So they don't talk about how long ago this was, but, you tell it's a while back. But pretty good insight to some of the characters who they've exposed like later on, and you got to see them as they were younger and what their mentality was. I thought that was pretty cool. And again, pretty good humor that's throughout this entire issue, and good action scenes as well. So yeah, if you're into the magic and into the adult humor, check this one out, Curse Words. Got a new one from Image by Cullen Bunn. I've really enjoyed Cullen Bunn on a lot of his horror type of writing. So this Cold Spots was a little bit slow. This the artwork I felt went well with the storyline thus far, but not too much storyline. So overall, what you find out is people are disappearing. They're just kind of vanishing. There's some sort of like ghost apparitions, and they haven't explained too much of what the ghost apparitions are. Maybe remnants of the people who had vanished, or possibly like a realm that was merged with Earth, and that's what those remnants are, or those little apparitions. So not too much storyline yet. Cullen Bunn does a little bit of a slow burn from time to time. So yeah, interested in seeing where he goes with this one. Cold Spots number 1. Redneck. Love his title as well. Vampires in West Texas, man. Gotta love it. Love the dialogue. A lot of twists occur throughout this entire title overall. Really enjoy it. Some of the storylines that get kind of stale, you always kind of see, what's going to happen, or if you could predict what's happened, what will happen. I feel it's kind of boring, it gets boring, really stale, really quick. So I love a lot of plot twists. I like when the writer always keeps the reader guessing what's happening next. That's the overall love. So this one here, they kind of start retconning a little bit to where they show like there's like elders who have existed for quite some time, kind of like a dark age type of, thousands of years back possibly. They never really talked about the vampires back then. This is really the first issue they ever really go way back there. So yeah, really looking forward to any type of timeline they do here going forward. So yeah, Redneck number 14. Got one from Action Lab, 12 Devils Dancing. This is like a weird, dark, twisted type of storyline. So issue number 2 completes the entire series. This one says 3 issues in 1. It is pretty thick. There was like pure storyline here. So yeah, overall, I would say if it comes out in trade, pick it up. There were kind of like 2 alternate timelines that are kind of going on throughout the entire last issue and this one as well. I wasn't really sure how it all tied together. This one issue ties everything together. Never really saw that coming. Total twist. Love this one, man. So this one's really about a serial killer and how the serial killer came to be. He stopped here. There's a serial killer right here. He has stopped here at the end, and he actually he's an artist, and he uses the blood of the women that he kills in his artwork. So like very, very sick and twisted, and it kind of talks about his origin story. Very cool title overall, in my opinion. So yeah, 12 Devils Dancing. If you see this in trade, pick it up. Beast of Burden. So to my knowledge, I believe this is the second ongoing series. They had like an original like short series, I think maybe like 6 issues or so. I picked up that in trade. I thought it was pretty good. They had a one-shot that came out, pretty good as well. This is the second, I guess, like volume 2 of the ongoing. So in this world, you have like all the animals who are able to talk, you know, pretty much to each other. Some are more intelligent than others, and you have a lot of supernatural magic going on as well. So it's kind of like a weird version of like Scooby-Doo in a sense. You have like a little group of dogs. It's always the same dogs kind of going on their little adventures. So this one is a little bit different. Most of them have been short stories. This one seems to be building like an ongoing story here. So a little bit slow, in my opinion. I'll see where number 2 goes, but I did subscribe to this one since I love the that first volume that came out. Oblivion 18. So this was like a weird solicit, and to tell you the truth, I can't remember what the what the summary of this one had stated, but not what I remember, to tell you the truth. So this one was yet another title where people end up vanishing. Like, I think there's 2 titles that came out this week where people were vanishing. So it starts following a couple of the main characters. You see like what their disposition is here in the storyline. Here's the main character here. She kind of found out her boyfriend was cheating on her. Kind of starts off there, 2 main characters so far, and then all of a sudden people kind of start disappearing. So the storyline starts, you know, what happened to these people, really following the main characters and, you know, what they're going through, you know, at hour 0 of when people start to vanish. So at the very end, I think it may be one of those like Oblivion song, to where like Earth and another world kind of merge together. So it's been done before. I want to see where number 2 goes on this one. Last for y'all, I have Britania. So if you are a fan of the old Roman type of gladiator time, I think Nero II is the ruler here during this timeline right now. So if you are a fan of the old Roman Empire type of storylines, they did a really good job. I think in both historically, the pacing of this issue is pretty good, or the title overall, in my opinion. Good dialogue, but mixed in with action. So yeah, if you are a fan of the old Rome, check this out, Britania from Valiant. So guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Please remember my free giveaway for the Avengers movie. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.